Hello and welcome to Abundantly Minimal. My name is Sarah and today I wanted to show you my minimalist shoe collection and walk you through a little bit of what I have and what I use them for with hopes that it can help you simplify your shoes if that's an area that you're looking to declutter. And with that in mind, I have some timestamps below. I'm going to address a few themes first or important concepts first before I actually explain the individual pairs. But if you want to skip that, you can in the timestamps. First up, let's talk about the number of shoes. And I personally have 9 pairs of shoes, which I'll walk through. Now, to some, that might not be minimalist. To others, that might be very extreme and hardly any. We have to understand that minimalism is a spectrum, and also there's lots of factors that shape the number of shoes we have or the type of shoes we have. For example, I actually work for myself here at home, and many other minimalist content creators and YouTubers and bloggers also do. However, when I was a classroom teacher, I usually had about 2 extra pairs of dress shoes at a time. And likewise, many different jobs have requirements that would certainly bulk up the number. Also, seasonal factors matter. Living in Illinois in the United States, we experience a huge range of temperatures in the seasons, and so I have designated winter shoes as well as designated summer shoes that I cannot wear during the opposite season. So again, numbers are all relative. The second topic for us to address if someone is trying to declutter their shoes, this can be a very gradual process. I've been a minimalist for many years at this point, but this is the first time I'm making this video. And that's because over the years, I've been able to simplify and get more clear in what I want. And honestly, a lot of pairs of shoes have served me for a certain time, but then I moved on from them. Likewise, as some of these shoes wear out, a different type of shoe will take its place, and we just continue to get closer and closer towards that more intentional path for ourselves. So do understand, especially if you feel overwhelmed with your own shoe situation, give yourself time to go through these. Of course, there might be some that you can easily let go of right away, but others you're going to have to test and evaluate as time goes on. The third topic to address here is the concept of secondhand shoes. Now, if you've watched the channel for a while, you'll know I am a huge supporter of secondhand anything, really. I love being able to purchase something used without the high price tag that some of these new products have, and it helps prevent waste because there is not a new item needing to be produced, and this can have a whole host of ethical benefits. I have often received criticism for wearing used or secondhand shoes in the past. And I do just want to put that to rest here and kind of preempt any comments about that. Not only have I worn predominantly secondhand shoes for about 8 or 9 years at this point, but I've also done the research. And in general, there is not much of a compelling argument for not wearing secondhand shoes. Of course, some people feel grossed out by it, but I always wash my stuff and clean my items when I buy them secondhand, and I encourage you to do the same. And with the exception of certain athletic wear, such as running shoes, there don't seem to be any major health risks, again, assuming that you're purchasing a clean pair. So again, do your own research, make your own decision, but you'll see today that most of these were purchased secondhand, and I will continue to live by that. You don't need to tell me not to do it in the comments. I've made my own intentional decision. The final topic before we get into these shoes is about leather. And personally, with my lifestyle, I've been living a vegan lifestyle for many years now, and I choose not to support products that are made of leather when I'm purchasing them new. It's too cruel and polluting of an industry for me to feel okay with that. Of course, you do you. Everyone makes their own choice. That being said, I am not inherently against purchasing leather in these second-hand products. So there are a few of these that do have leather components or were made at least somewhat of leather. And because I'm not purchasing these items brand new, I'm not negatively contributing to these industries and not financially supporting and paying companies directly for these products. Instead, the money that I'm paying goes towards different charities run by these secondhand shops. So those were our 4 disclaimers. Let's get into the specifics here. First up, I have these sneakers here, which are like a multi-purpose shoe. I don't really run or do too much crazy physical activity with them. I'll often wear them when we do our lawn walks each day. But that being said, I purchased these new back in 2017. I actually was able to use store credit from a gift or maybe a selection of gifts I returned to be able to get these. So with that, they've served me well. Pretty basic, just athletic shoe. Over here, I also have, these are some boots. Now I wear these in the winter. They are all man-made materials. I did purchase them secondhand a couple years ago, and these are probably the most fashionable item I have. I definitely don't consider myself very fashion forward, but these are always nice to wear in the winter or in the fall. I think they look nice with like a skinny jean and are pretty comfortable. I actually wore these back when I was teaching a lot as well. And get a lot of value out of them. So these, when it's the warm weather, I tuck them away and don't need them. You might be able to see back there is where we keep our shoe rack. My husband Jake's shoes, he's got 2 pairs. He rotates between here at home. So with that, we'll keep only a selection of the shoes we need presently out, and the other shoes can be tucked away in a closet where we will get them out when it's the next season. I also have this pair of some tan flats. These are for dressy occasions, and I was able to find them secondhand. They are all man-made materials, and I love that they are very basic and could go with anything. Now, previously, just to get into the evolution of shoes, I had a pair of tan wedges I wore to some special events. However, I am clumsy and have fallen down in them, so I realized it was definitely time to just get a basic flat that I can use for any of these events coming in the future. These next 2 pairs I'll talk about were also both purchased secondhand. We have seasonal factors here. So I love a good lazy slip-on shoe. I don't want to spend a lot of time tying things up, and I also don't care too much about fashion. So these were secondhand, like little Skechers slip-ons. They don't look cute at all, but they're very comfortable, and they've got good grip. So in the winter, if we're out and about on errands, they're easy to slip on, and I'm not likely to fall. And again, I purchased them secondhand, so they're just super easy, and again, I wear them in the winter or colder months. When it's warmer out, I don't want to wear these, especially, if like socks are showing or I don't want to wear socks. Now, I do have a pair of Tom shoes here. I bought them secondhand through Poshmark. I do really like Poshmark, which is, at least in the United States, an online ordering website where you can purchase secondhand items from others. And I would always search, like if we were at Goodwill or a local thrift shop, and look for something similar. But honestly, I was looking, for maybe even over a year, and I just was never finding them until I realized Poshmark, there's so many options available. And I was able to choose a pair that I liked, and also looked for a pair that was both priced affordably, but also still pretty new condition. What I also like to do when I'm searching on Poshmark, not that I've ordered much on there, I will search the filters to show by lowest price first, since I am a very frugal person, and I can filter results that way, also with my size. And I also found when you shift those settings, you're more likely to get items that have been on the site longer, since they default to just shared items. And I've actually been able to make an offer for something less than the price of any of these items so far, which is nice. I don't try to undercut the seller too much, but I might try to ask for 20 or 30% off, and they've always accepted my offers. So that's just a cool hack if you're looking for some items that you can't find. Obviously, purchasing something online, you want to make sure you know what your size is, so it helps if you've had a pair of shoes in the past or a certain item in the past, so you know exactly what you need. So I like to wear these in the summer because, sometimes I'll wear these with a sock, but other times I won't, and they're just a little bit of a lighter shoe that's, again, an easy slip-on. For my everyday summer sandals, this was also a purchase on Poshmark that was fairly recent. I had these exact same shoes regular from a thrift store years before, and I wore them for 3 years pretty much like every day during the summer, and also walked. Like I would do hour-long walks in these, and again, they were incredibly comfortable. I loved them, but then they fell apart completely beyond repair, and I had to move on. I, again, did not realize Poshmark was a thing, a while back, so I recently was able to find these in my size, and they're actually so new that I have to break them in still, so they're not quite as comfortable just yet, but I'm so excited to have them back, essentially. And these are a really great all-purpose sandal that I can wear for a long walk, but it's also very comfortable, and they look somewhat dressy, at least by my low level of fashion. So these are a really great all-purpose option. I also have this pair of flip-flops here. These have been with me for many years and they're pretty worn out, but our condo association that we live in does have an outdoor pool that will open up in about a month or so. So with that, these are perfect to wear to the pool. And if I'm also needing to go like get the mail and I don't want to really, get too dressed up or put on, fancier shoes, it's just easy to slip these on. So these, again, make their appearance in these warmer months. Now, at the moment, I do have 2 pairs of shoes that I haven't worn in a really long time. However, I've not chosen to get rid of them at this point. In the future, we'll have to reevaluate. So these are very specific. Really, I have the 7 pairs that I rotate, but I wanted to just be full disclosure. Here's every pair of shoes I own in my house. This is my pair of travel sneakers, specifically for cold weather. Obviously, with the pandemic, we haven't been traveling as much. And if we travel in warm weather, I will always wear, sandals typically. But these were purchased new back in 2018 before we did a big international trip. During that trip, we went to 8 or 9 different countries and there were many different weather patterns there. So these were just a perfect all-purpose shoe as we traversed the globe. But we haven't taken a trip like that recently. However, they are great for travel purposes and they're comfy, on an airplane or in an airport. So I know when the time comes, these will be good to go again. But for now, they've just kind of been hanging out. The last pair here is actually my wedding shoes, and I haven't worn them since. I would have gotten rid of them by now because I don't feel a strong attachment, but there's a special project and it also is tied in with a video that I want to do, and it just also keeps getting put off for some different situational factors. So I want to wear them for that symbolic video, but we just haven't had a chance to make it yet. So once we film that video, I probably will pass them along because, the fit wasn't actually amazing. They're a very basic shoe. I did purchase these new. I wasn't yet living a very intentional life at that point, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully that's coming soon, but I really don't know at this point. But once we film that video, then I'll be able to pass these along. That being said, that wraps up this minimalist shoe collection video. I hope you found this helpful. And again, if you are looking at your own shoe situation and struggling, I would encourage you to gather up the shoes in your space kind of all together like this and really reflect about the different ways that you use different shoes and what uses are valid and maybe what could be consolidated. I know for many, they might find that they have certain special occasion footwear that's frankly not going to be worn anymore. Or maybe you're like me talking about the flats versus the old heels I had and, deciding what types of shoes make the most sense for you going forward. Maybe you want to make some adjustments. If you'd like to see some other videos, I will link them over here and feel free to subscribe to the channel up here. I'll see you next time. Bye.